Welcome back to Sunday Coffee Club. Here's one for you then, boys, before we get underway. Taylor or Kylie?
Kylie.
Right, whoa, no. Like, to be fair to Kylie, if we're talking about Kylie and her pomp, yeah, she's fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, we are like prime Kylie versus prime Taylor.
Again, there's different metrics for. They were both better than each other in certain aspects, but prime Kylie, phenomenal. Like, you can't take it away from her. You know, I think one of the first two songs I can ever remember listening to was Hotel California, the Eagles, and Can't Get Out of My Head, Kylie.
I bet you watched that video a few times as well.
She was, yeah, I mean, something about Kylie back in her day that I think to the normal untrained eye catches. Yeah, but then obviously you're not a fan of Taylor. I was going to have this out with you. I was waiting for time to bring it up.
Go at each other.
Well, obviously, when we did the old fucking player profiles or whatever, Taylor's how is Taylor overrated? I don't get it.
She's one of these where the world likes her because someone else likes her. She's like, ooh, they like her, so I must like her. She's jumping on a bandwagon, and I don't think.
Who likes Taylor and Sauce? Who are you trying to be like? Who are you trying to impress?
It's not. What do you mean? I mean, she's grossing billions on her world tour, so enough people like her for her to not be overrated.
Just she's brainwashed all little girls and boys like you. But hats off to her. She's done well. Respect that. She's done very well for herself.
She's got some powerful songs, boys.
I'm glad she went to singing because her acting side wasn't as good, was it?
No, but I mean, again, I don't know her other ventures, but in terms of her musical prowess, she is elite. She is elite. She belongs on the Mount Rushmore of female artists.
Sure, you're brainwashed there, son. But I can't argue with that. If you like her, you like her.
I reckon I'm in the middle ground. Like, I like her, and I like her older stuff more than newer stuff, I reckon. But
good on her. Well done.
She's done very well for herself, James. You're right. Very well for herself.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our t-shirts then, boys, because I'm not wearing this out of choice. Little backstory. I did have tickets for Coldplay in Cardiff in 2023, but obviously I was in Australia, so I couldn't go. I had a lot of FOMO because I've seen them a few times and they're class. So my mum sent the t-shirt over for me to wear when me and Sauce went to see them November 23. And look at the state of it.
Bit tight, bit colourful.
Yeah, didn't wear it. So I opted not to lie to my mother and say, yeah, I did wear it at the gig. I just said, sorry, mum, I'm not wearing that. So just chuck it on now and again in the house if I'm a bit cold.
What's the reasoning you wouldn't want to be seen wearing a t-shirt like that, then, bud?
I think if me and you went to Coldplay and I was wearing this, people would be asking questions, wouldn't they?
I did make the comment before we started recording. If Reece did rock up to Coldplay wearing that t-shirt, I think a lot of people would have thought I was punching.
But there is a consistent theme, because if it didn't work out, this pod is about music.
There is.
So they're all music genre t-shirts. The one I've gone for is CVC, Church Village Collective, Welsh band close to us. They are very good. They're up and coming. I do recommend people get onto them if they haven't listened to them before. But support local. And then Sauce, you've gone for the country theme.
Yeah, well, I was obviously getting geared up to record in an Arsenal top, but then
it is Arsenal colours, to be fair.
It is. It's retro, red and white. I don't actually own a musical top, so Jimmy's kindly donated one to me. I'm gonna have to try and read this upside down, so bear with me. It says,
"Fuck, you can't read the right way round."
Let's not take a piss here. It says, "Rootin', tootin', bootin', scootin'."
Oh,
sounds like a bit of you, huh?
Losing weight, I can enjoy. No, it's local place in Fremantle, Honky Tonk.
Not a venue.
They take it so seriously, and you can skip the line if you come dressed as a cowboy. Which is
you gotta have like a cowboy hat on.
Yeah, cowboy attire.
When you say skip the line, you can go straight to the front of the
Mr. Q, not the bar queue, the queue to get in the club. But then when you're in there, there's a certain section where they're doing line dancing, and if you go in that area, you're getting booted out unless you can toot and scoot.
Proper toot and
scoot. No, you can join in, but they
teach you, don't they?
There's always someone like leading the charge, isn't there?
Yeah.
I tried joining in before. I was just fucking falling over my own feet.
But it is good. Gives that country Texas vibes.
We'll touch on dancing, I'm sure, in a couple of later episodes. But yeah, I don't think I've quite got the old booting scooting in my locker just yet. I would need a bit of work before I can start polishing the
one or two share butts first.
Couple of 2 steps. That's about it.
Where are we starting off then, boys?
Well, I suppose you're Welsh. Do you want to touch on any Welsh musicians, Welsh bands that stand out? You think are the best?
Phonics for me. Like I know Tom Jones was a legend. But for me, Phonics are just. Have you seen them live?
Yeah, I see him Cardiff City Stadium.
Same, I was
Yeah,
probably
that
there,
was
same gig.
When I mentioned the other pod, got over my fear of weeing in public.
That's
But
right.
that was a great day. Have you seen him, Sauce?
I got off. I was always a bit gutted. So I remember when they played the Millennium Stadium tour just after COVID.
I went to that as well.
I got offered tickets, but I'd just come back from watching Wales against Holland in the football. I went away, and I'd had a bit of a heavy week. And I said I'd come back on a Thursday. I was offered tickets to the show on a Saturday, and I turned them down.
Still couldn't go.
And I've not seen the Phonics, but they are shit hot. Like, they are banger after banger.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Total sidetrack. Sorry, Jim.
Not going bad.
You went to see your Welsh qualifier in Cardiff as well, didn't you?
Yes.
And it was pissing down, and we had tickets for Jerry Cinnamon in the castle. So he texts one of the boys, what's the crack? The boy he texted is Smeagol, who doesn't like the rain and the cold. He was like, oh, I don't even know if we're going to bother going, mate. We're probably just going to go home.
What, to Jerry or to the football?
To Jerry Cinnamon. Because obviously it's open air in the
Yeah.
castle, pissing down rain, freezing cold.
I think that would have added to it, though. That would have.
It did. It was one of the best gigs I've ever been to.
Oh,
And
you
I
did
missed
make it.
it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but he texted the wrong bloke and he didn't bother coming.
But luckily, in fairness, yeah, I mean, that had potential to be like a top 5 day of all time, but I still seen Wales qualify for the World Cup, so I'm not going to make out as if it was a bad day, but it was an incredible day, which could have been made a lot.
It would have been a lot
better.
better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it
Could
could
you
have
done
been.
them both? Or are they on the
Oh
same
yeah, I had tickets for Jerry, but I went to watch the football, didn't have a jacket. So
Of
I
all
was,
the people to ask,
I
why
know,
not Smeag?
I know. Well, to be fair, but it would have been nice if I'd have had a reply off you. But there's more chance of squeezing the Queen's tits at the time.
I was probably on Do Not Disturb, sorry, but you always fucking notify me anyway, didn't you?
Fucking right. I used to get a bit nervous, like, because obviously before me and, obviously I've lived with him for 2.5 years now, so, like that. But in the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't want to bother him if he's in work. And I was like, fuck, I can't answer your phone, you prick.
I'll reply in 3 to 5 working days. No, what else we got? A catfish.
Catfish. How would you compare them to the Phonics? Because to me, Catfish, like, the Phonics are brilliant. Absolutely love the Phonics, but I wouldn't put them right up there. But Catfish would be a top 5 band for me.
Oh, yeah.
They've left a sour taste in the mouth after they can't
yeah.
at all, but
Did you have we had tickets?
We all did.
Yeah.
So, Catfish were coming to Perth. They were playing in Red Hill Auditorium, and we had a little bus on the go, didn't we? It would have been a great evening, but they cancelled. And I think that's what their downfall is. They've had their own issues internally.
They did definitely leave a bit of a bad taste with the boys, because as a collective, we were all looking forward to that, and it would have been a hell of a day. And then to have it cancelled, what was it, the week before?
yeah, the week of, wasn't it?
Because I think most of their plays on Spotify are us in the minds. Like, we just blasted them all day. Them and Sam Fender just going, and it would have been brilliant. But yeah, another very good Welsh band. You mentioned Feeder, and then Manic Street Preachers. Also
Manics are good, yeah. And then you got some Welsh songstresses. Then you've got Bonnie Tyler,
Duffy,
remember her?
yeah,
She only had one or two, didn't she? It was very good voice.
Yeah, fucking. She had Warwick Avenue was my favourite.
What does Peter Kay say? Birdseed.
I thought that poor cow were begging me for birdseed. Who else we got? Bonnie Tyler, Duffy, and what's that?
What's the one who sings?
Who's got the set of pipes on her?
Catherine Jenkins?
Catherine Jenkins, that's the one.
Fucking Charlotte Church.
Charlotte Church, I couldn't name you a Charlotte Church song, mind.
Probably recognise it if you heard it.
And then you've got Keris Matthews and Catatonia.
Fucking great band.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mulder and Scully's a cracker.
No, Keris Matthews. She reminds me of Billy Piper off Doctor Who, and I don't
what's
like
wrong
her in
with Billy?
Doctor Who. When in Doctor Who, she annoyed me, so I don't know why.
So you got a problem with Keris Matthews off the back of that? That's mental, but who speakers are?
That's fine, sorry boys.
And there's another Welsh band up and coming. They sing a lot of their songs in Welsh. Is Gucci. GWCCI.
Oh, not Gucci.
They always wear vintage football Cardiff City tops, which look good. They always cover their face.
Soul Crew. Oh, we wear t-shirts round our faces.
Shawnee little ears. The boy sandwiches. But they're good as well, so give it a dabble. I think Wales have done alright in the music front, haven't they? They're pretty good.
There's probably someone we're forgetting as well. So, total sidetrack as well, boys. I reckon our anthem is probably the best in the world as well.
Right, so we'll talk about that without trying to be biased then, because obviously 3 Welsh boys giving their opinion on which anthem is the best, it is going to be biased. But it is the best.
It's the best.
It is. I'm not going to say there's one that stands out in my head, which is levels above, but we don't need to say which one. We all know. But it is comfortably.
I'll say, but the English anthem is fucking shocking.
It's hooping it.
Yeah, don't
and
worry
so is
about
the Aussie one. The Aussie one is fucking terrible. I think it's worse than God Save the King.
But I think close second and third for me would be Shoulder to Shoulder, the Irish,
Ireland, is it?
and then also the Scottish anthem
Flower of Scotland.
with the bagpipes. When the music stops playing, it's just the crowd singing.
Unbelievable. That.
Unreal. That's a bucket list to go and watch that live, I think. But yeah, ours, home and away, especially in the Millennium, is up there
Something
with the best.
about it.
best,
It says on the back of your neck stuff, innit?
Yeah, it does. Do you know the words?
I can hum in tune, but I don't know the words.
How have you not learned the words?
Yes,
You know, glad,
I
glad.
can go. Yeah.
Jump on that.
What? I got no idea what it means. But
I know more of
sing
fucking.
it.
Sorry, on another sidetrack. What's the fucking one for the football? Really, Amora Heath.
Yeah, Morohi.
That's again right up there with some of the.
That gives you goosebumps as well, doesn't it?
Oh, that's class. What's his name? Johan
Griffith.
David?
Johan Griffith.
David Griffith.
Decent actor.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Young
Good speech,
Griffith's
always.
fucking Mr. Fantastic, isn't he?
I don't know.
Stretchy one.
Yeah.
Right
what is
then.
his name who sings fucking Amaruid?
David something, isn't it?
David Ewan.
David Ewan, that's
Is
the
it
one.
fucking Johan Griffith? Like, Jesus Christ, the stretchy one. Let's start at the beginning then, boys. What were your sort of musical influences growing up? Because I know you know, a lot of people are massively influenced by their parents. Can you remember what your parents got you into?
Go on, Jim, if you want to.
Thank you, Bat. On my old man, on that side, I think we would always drive around blasting Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, Gorillaz.
Bit of Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah. Do you know, he actually introduced me to Scissor Sisters.
Oh, brilliant.
And that introduced
Brilliant.
me into the world of what I didn't know. And it was quite educational looking at the Scissor Sisters.
Do you want to elaborate or not?
Well, just at that age, I didn't know too much about homosexuals and all that stuff, you know.
And he's picked the Scissor Sisters, would you, Adam and Eva?
Who else did he have? He had, and then I go on my mother's side. She was a music teacher, done a music degree, so we'd grow up with a house full of instruments. She could play everything under the sun. Did try learning myself, but didn't have that gene, you know.
Were you giggling there at innuendo?
Of course you did.
I just saw that out the corner of my eye. Sorry, Jim.
Can't take you anywhere. But a bit of Duran Duran in the 80s and stuff, the absolute classics. So I think that's what my parents influenced on me.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of had a little chat didn't we, before we started recording. I was brought up with music on in the house constantly, in the car blasting, heavily influenced by the 80s. I've just grown up loving pretty much every aspect of 80s music, all the classics, obviously Queen. I know a lot of bands sort of carried on from the 70s into the 80s, but yeah, all the Duran Duran, Pet Shop Boys, all the Wham, all the 80s pop electronic influences. I just think it's, you know, unbelievable. Yeah, we differ on the Pet Shop Boys, don't we?
Not a fan, like.
Oh,
I don't get the Smiths either. I remember a lot of people are massive fans of the Smiths. I just don't get the farty. There's so many bands in the 80s without, like, you can't even sing, like.
I'm surprised that I thought you'd like them.
Nah, not massive on it.
it's just catchy pop for me in the 80s. And then you got all, like, you know, your Cyndi Lauper's, Bananarama, Madonna. You know, it's just everything about it is quality.
Yeah.
For me.
Bananarama, Jesus Christ.
What were you, Emily? Because I know your old man's still in a band and he's very musical.
Yeah, well, my old man and his brother are obviously part of the legendary After Hours, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Scott slaps a bass and sings, and then his brother Kel is a fucking brilliant drummer, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they play a lot of like rock and roll stuff, so that's kind of what I grew up with. So yeah, it's the Beatles. Looking at that Oasis poster there, Oasis were massive. I think the first song I learned all the words to was "Roll With It" by Oasis. You gotta roll with it.
Hopefully they play that when you go and watch them now.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, Liam's voice is gone now, yeah, that's the only problem, but he'll still be fucking bucket list.
Yeah.
But no, Beatles, Oasis, AC/DC, like you said, Sauce, Queen, Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, Eagles. So that was kind of my influence growing up, and then
Is there one band you can sort of picture from growing up? Because there's one band for me that stands out, and that was Bon Jovi. I grew up just Bon Jovi on constantly, and he'd still be one of my favourites these days.
ironically, you do give Love a Bad Name as well, the new song.
I and I'm also shot through the heart more often than not.
Same.
But
But I can definitely agree with the one band that you grow up with. Mine was the Chili Peppers and also Eminem.
Well, I was going to touch on the GOAT later on. I was going to give him his own little 5-minute monologue because when we're discussing music, basically it's how it works is music is massive, it's subjective, but it all sits underneath Eminem.
Do you reckon?
So it's like, there's Eminem and there's everybody else's opinion underneath. It's like Eminem and then decide amongst yourselves what comes next. Like Eminem is,
I think lyrically, he's got to be right up there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But like for me, my biggest influence growing up was the Beatles, and like still now, you can like this. It's mental what they did in, only 8 or 9 years. You look, if you go through the fucking full catalogue of their music, you'll still find songs you've never heard before, or you'll be like, fucking hell, is that the Beatles? Because so many people have covered them.
Yeah.
And I just think they completely transformed everything about music. And like how many songs now, how many genuine like artists now will we still be listening to in 40, 50 years time, 60 years time? I think as many.
Well, that lends itself onto another sort of topic is like, we've just listed bands with it, and there's a lot of brilliant music out at the minute. There's a lot of good songs, catchy songs you're still listening to, and they'll stay on repeat for a while. But just the way we've spoken for the last 10 minutes, it's not a coincidence that whenever you talk about music, it's all old stuff.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, I would say the only modern artist that I think will sort of, compared to, back in the day where you had like Madonna, Kylie, Cyndi Lauper, from the sort of women's scene.
Taylor Swift.
I think the only one who would fucking join them is Adele.
Yeah, true.
And other than that, there's not many bands that I think are going to live on in the next 40, 50 years like what's come before in terms of like Queen, Beatles, Oasis. It's not a coincidence, is it, that a lot of what we listen to is older stuff? Because I don't know, it sounds like I'm saying new music's crap, but I just think it's not quite what it was.
No, it's not really, But I think you can definitely see the influences in these older bands. Like, Oasis were massively influenced by the Beatles. Like fucking Liam Gallagher was obsessed with John Lennon. If you watch the documentaries, he's like, oh, fucking sounds like the Beatles. And they're saying shit like that. So you can see, all these modern day artists have been massively influenced by what's come in the decades before.
Oh, yeah. And we might have missed the boat, Reese. I don't know whether you're a little bit older. You might have had your cassettes and your record players.
Vinyl.
And your vinyls. What can you remember the first CD you boys ever bought? Do you remember going to the shops?
Do you know what? The one album that I can't remember. I remember I used to go and buy CDs, but I think the one that sticks out for me, I reckon this was probably 2002, was Busted.
Oh, they were quality.
Fucking awesome, like.
Yeah, I remember listening to them on the old CD portable player on the bus to school. They had some absolute brilliant songs.
Do you have one of them like CD pouches? I remember I had a football one, and there was like a load of sleeves, and you just keep all your CDs in there.
Oh, I know the one.
Yeah, a little side pouch full of all the CDs. That was brilliant. Those
Scratch the fuck.
I'm never a big fan of Busted. Like Year 3000, and other than that,
didn't like that.
What I go to school for?
Nah.
Sleeping with the light.
What was the one? There was one about a teacher who was good.
Miss Mackenzie.
Might be that one.
Yeah, what I go to school for?
That one. Do you remember buying any sauce?
Oh. Yeah, well, I just had a quick Google, but and for the life of me, but I don't understand how this was a band I got into, because I got to be honest, I wouldn't fucking chuck them on, and at all anymore. But the first CD I bought was Room on a Third Floor, McFly.
Yeah.
McFly.
They were similar to Busted, though.
I forgot about that song.
Yeah, I mean,
combined a little while.
I used to grow up loving She's a Girl with 5 colours in her hair and all that.
Yeah, I can imagine you dancing in your room to that, but...
Da, 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 da.
Do you remember, again, so total sidetrack, it was one of your shot through the heart moments. We were driving home, and we've both been through the ringer, and we'll talk about it again. We keep going on about this dating episode that hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. But it was after one of the heartbreaks. I remember driving, and Obviously Come On by McFly, and I just started pissing myself laughing. And he was like, he obviously hadn't clocked. He was like, "What are you laughing at?" And
I was
just,
like,
obviously,
she's out of my league.
She's out of my league.
You're wasting your time.
And you'll never be mine, and I know I never will be good enough for her.
And he's laughing as like I'm not.
I
being
nearly
funny.
crashed the car, like.
And I'm not. The banks have burst. Like I am crying. Like my frown is upside down, and his fucking. I'm flooding the car with tears, and there's him fucking breaking ribs, laughing at my heartbreak. But it happens. It happens, and we go again. We go again.
Oh, I can't beat it.
Well, go on, and I know I don't know if I mess in the order up here, but just stay on the theme, man.
Probably
It's
are.
a little bit down
Like
the
you,
list. No,
We're going now.
we're
gonna go.
We'll go a bit sad before we get happy again. Then on the subject of crying in the car to songs. Any songs that make you feel? I mean, I gotta be honest, Jim. Sorry, I did say downstairs I was gonna get stuck into it. I'll just do it now while I'm on the subject.
Shoot your shot.
I'm honestly shocked you agreed to do this episode because I honestly did not think you could name 5 songs, let alone.
Shut your donut.
In general, but I've been living you now for the best part of a year, and you haven't burst into song once.
I
You're
don't
not a singer, are you?
I don't waste my time singing because I stay in my lane and I enjoy listening to
I
those
respect that
can
because
sing.
I love singing. I can't sing obviously, but I do love singing. But
Right before you answer, in behind closed doors, then do you let rip? Like, do you ever do a bit of karaoke? So if you're in the car on your own, are you singing along?
At Christmas time, I sing the Christmas songs in the car.
That's
and then in the shower, I have dabbled now and then in the shower because everybody sounds good in the shower. But you're only the one line. I'm not singing into the bloody shower head, you know? I'm not being there all day. I just enjoy listening to people that can do the job, you know?
Yeah, no, I respect that.
And with you boys blasting it full volume upstairs,
I honestly, I was like, does he know 5 songs? Like, and could he list me 5 songs? And then
the cheek of
He's
it.
pretty good, I think. He's pretty
Cheek
good.
of it.
I do apologise.
But crying wise, there is one song. It's either called or it's by Cats in the Cradle, and it's about an old man and his son, the father and son. And the song is initially about the son. The father's too busy to spend time with the son. As he gets older, the son becomes too busy to spend time with his father, and life goes by, and they haven't really spent time with each other. And they're all like, "Oh yeah, one day." And unfortunately, it resonates with my dad, and he kind of agrees with it. And I remember there was one flight coming back from the mines, and it came on the shuffle. And it got to me, like,
It made you feel.
yeah, not being able to spend as much time with my old man for different reasons, but that song resonates with me, and it gets me.
It's along the same lines. Not quite, the same sort of scenario. But the one for me is like because I know it makes my granddad feel, and it's always stuck with me because what it's like. You never see your grandparents cry or your granddad cry. They're like hard as nails. But his song was Mike and the Mechanics, In the Living Years. And I think the one of them is I wasn't there that morning when my father passed away is one of the lyrics. And like he used to have that blasting when I would drive up to London with him, and that was the one song. And whenever that comes on, I just think of him, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I guess you feeling
Gets
a bit
warm.
I think that's got to be one of the best and worst things about music, though, isn't it? Is just you can hear a particular song and it takes you back to like a certain moment, or
That's why it's brilliant, isn't it?
yeah,
in a
just
way.
completely alters your emotions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I've got it depends on the occasion, I suppose, and then like I said, there's certain songs that remind you of certain things. So I've probably got a few that I could call upon. I'm very emotional. I genuinely think it's his fault as well. So John Mayer over there, he's the reason that I'm such a hopeless romantic. If you listen to his lyrics, it's like, yeah, I can resonate a lot with John. So it's like he's singing to me. Or for
Aimed
me.
directly at you. Like,
Yeah.
I guess you go in, is it?
Music definitely does get you out of. It's huge for me, and more so since I moved to Oz because I've listened to more music in the last 3 years than I have in the last 25 years. And I used to listen to a lot of music back home, but since I moved over here, having that bit more time to yourself, I need to fill the time in between the music on. And yeah.
Especially in your job as well.
His music. I got music on 12 hours a day when I'm working. That's all right.
You need music to get yourself through that job.
Oh, you do. I touched on before that I think I was in the top 1% of Spotify listeners last year, and it's because from 5:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock when I finish the gym is music on. And I wouldn't have it any other way, to be fair.
All 80s wank. So the song that really gets me, again, is John Mayer, Stop This Train. And he played it live the one time I went to see him, and I was just like, oh, fucking hell, John, why would you do this to me? But it's just about, getting older, and like one lyric is, I can't fucking remember it now. No, it's something like one generation's length away from living life out on my own. So it talks about his parents going and shit like that. It's just like you can't listen to it. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Again, it just makes you feel. And yeah, there's certain others as well. Like there's one I've got tattooed on my wrist, but there, Let It Be. Every time I hear that, it's just like it always does something to me, and it's probably that childhood influence of, remind me of the Beatles when I was a little kid, and yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
It's brilliant. But I suppose before we all start crying, and get a jukebox going and get the juices flowing.
Should have a Kutch for you. Some of the fucking viewers would love it as well.
They actually would, wouldn't they?
Yeah. And we'd all fucking check our socks over each other as well.
The Legs and Socks Club, whoever are following us, is fucking wild.
Let me just get mine out. Sorry for the OnlyFans, otherwise I'm not meeting my
quota. You dipping them socks in gravy with it?
Oh, I gotta be honest. Yeah, alright.
You wash them with the blacks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really split your colours, do you, when you're washing?
Nah, I don't, and that's why.
Towels in as well, that's what does me. It comes out covered in fluff.
Oh, that's a killer, that is. You wash it, nothing worse in this world. I'm quite cheap on my towels. I won't do a you and Tash and go to Bad Beth. Bad Beth? Who's Bad Beth? Fucking old flame. What's it called? Bed Bath and Table, is it?
Yeah, that's the one. Bed Bath and Group.
Yeah, I won't go and spend 600 quid on a towel like you and Tash will. But I'm quite happy with a $5 Kmart towel. However, the problem with the Kmart towel is you will chuck that in with a regular wash and you will come out looking like Build-A-Bear. It's mental.
Yeah, we wash towels together. That's the whole point, the splitting stuff.
Yeah, true.
Watch your bars with there as well, but you're loud as fuck.
Spitting bars.
Yeah.
But if we go back to CDs, I suppose, thanks for asking. My first one was Green Day.
Yeah, you jumped forward about 6 points.
American Idiot, Green Day.
Brilliant album.
Yeah, my granny took me down Ponty Town to buy that album. But then I suppose, going on from that, you got iPods and Bluetooth. Do you ever remember Bluetooth in and infrared? Yeah.
Take about fucking 6 hours.
I used to love it. I go on the back of the bus on the way from school, maybe sending other stuff, not just the music videos, and the music songs.
Dick pic.
The iPod classics back in the day, you get your 1,000 songs on there. There was nothing better than adding songs and then thinking you're the boy walking around with your white headphones. It was a nice little interlude going into the iPods from the CDs.
You used to walk around like shops and I with one earphone in.
Yeah, just the one. Sit at the back of the class with just the one in, thinking you're the dog's bollocks. Yeah,
I never did that. I was a good boy in school.
And what about getting the songs onto the iPod then? So I went through
Limewire?
The Limewire phase, and I ruined the family computer downloading songs, because I did go through a phase as well of people in school would write me a list of songs they wanted. I'd download them and burn them onto a CD from.
I was just your way of
You're a
explaining.
proper entrepreneur, you were, weren't you?
Oh, I sold everything in school, to be fair.
And I bet that was your little excuse for explaining the naughty videos that would appear on our laptop as well, wasn't it?
That's why
it's Limewire, mama. It's Limewire, honestly.
Those are the days. The first song I frowned upon illegally downloaded was Razorlight America. Remember that? That's
Very
absolute
good.
banger.
I used to use a YouTube converter.
Oh, the old MP3 converter.
Because that was a bit more computer friendly when it was, you wouldn't get viruses from that. So
yeah, but yeah, sorry Dad, ruined the house computer on that one.
the only problem is, though, if you had a music video where there would be like something at the start, or like it would break up, and then you'd have, and sometimes they'll pause it and someone will be talking.
Yeah, or like a little advert.
It wouldn't have the adverts. No.
The DJ that would copy it would put his thing over the music and he'd ruin it for everyone.
Oh yeah.
And then my customers won't be happy in school.
I used to have to give the boys match attacks because obviously I'm computer illiterate and I'm technologically backward. So I had absolutely bob out trying to download a song. So I'd say to the boys, like, I'd have Steve Gerrard. Steve Gerrard, man of the match, or whatever, chuck me out, and then I want you to send me 50 Cent and Justin Timberlake AO technology, like Bluetooth me out there.
Do you remember as well back in the day? Do you boys use MSN Messenger?
I just missed out on Bebo and MSN.
And you could have the song you're listening to come up in your bio, like.
Yeah.
So you always had to make sure it was a cool song.
Those are the days you'd speak to your friends all day in school and you'd rush home to go and speak to them again on the computer.
Yeah.
Talk absolute shite. Loads of emojis, different language.
WUU2 SB.
Was that the BRB?
WB?
Yeah, the old text talk.
And then what was it? What was the laughing emoji? It was like colon and a capital
L. Yeah. Those are the days.
Great days. Oh yeah, do you boys play any instruments then? Jim, surely you play something if your mother's like fucking...
Yeah, so I touched on it at the beginning. I had a lot of lessons. I remember me and your cousin Lewis used to have guitar lessons in school. I actually remember one time the instructor turned up, he had chilies the night before and he poked himself in the eye so he couldn't really see for one lesson. That was quite funny. That was the most memorable guitar lesson I had, on a bit of a sidetrack. But then recently in COVID times, tried learning the piano again. Got alright that I can play a couple of songs on the piano. The one song I can remember is My Chemical Romance. Is it Welcome to Black Parade, I think it is.
You learned that on the piano?
It's quite easy, to be fair. My mother taught me. But yeah, sorry, Mum, I should be better, considering you can play Licorice All Sorts. I should have been better, but I didn't get that gene. But no, unfortunately, I can't. What about you, Luis? Your old man's a very, very good musician. Musician? Musician. Can you play anything?
Yeah, I started playing the guitar, but he made it disappear again. Nah, yeah, I gutted I never properly learned. Like, I can fucking shred on the recorder from back in the day. Chuck me a recorder and I'll blast out fucking Blah Blah Black Sheep. But, no, I remember I had a drum set when I was a kid, and I just never had lessons or anything. I was just hit fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But I've always had, like, natural kind of... You watch me dance, you wouldn't think it, but I've always had, like, natural rhythm. Like, I can pick up a drum beat and...
Yeah.
But I think if you put a drum set in front of me, there's a lot more to it than that. So
like Sauce with a Triangle, that's what you were in, wasn't it?
Tambourine.
I mean, no, instrument-wise, not really. I mean, I've blown a few flutes when I was in school, but...
Oh,
wait, no. Yeah, do you know what, boys? You got to
set yourself up for that one.
You got to get your head out to the get there. You got to get your head out to the get there.
Who says Harvard? I've blown a few flutes when I was in school.
Let's be honest, I might have known what I was doing with it. But no, I had a little... I've held some recorders, fucking pressed the right buttons. And sometimes
he knows his way around a flute,
and sometimes played the right tune as well. But
sing the fiend tune.
No, instrument wise, I like I said, love singing, but I haven't quite got the rhythm. I haven't got the rhythm.
Yeah, I will find the buzzing's gone now, boys. We're back. We need to get some better mics than me.
Yeah, we'll have to, won't we?
Fed up with fucking holding the fuckers as well.
Done it for 11 episodes. Why change it now?
Getting pins and needles, man.
I was going to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it is broke, so we should probably fix it.
So what you got next then, brother? What are we into right now at the minute then? What's got you a year at the minute, Jim?
I'm sort of dabbling consistently with the country side of things. I think
made a comeback, and it's made a good comeback, the country.
Yeah, I think Yellowstone did help, but also being in Australia, they love a rodeo, they love the country theme over here. So when I'm working away in the bush, I feel like I am in a country movie.
In the bush?
So literally in the bush. Into a bit of Ryan Bingham, Riley Green at the moment. So I do suggest them.
Oh, so you're proper into your country, anyway?
That's deep, that is.
I'm mainstream country, like I like Zach Bryan and all that. I'm not into
Combs, Morgan.
But Riley Green, but great looking bloke. I seen a photo of him. I thought, who is that? So then I started dabbling into his music. So I recommend him. However, on the other side, Fontaines. I know you've seen them recently.
Fontaines.
They got some absolute brilliant songs.
Really good,
Are they Irish or they...
Irish, yeah. Right. I'm not too sure where from. I don't know if it's north or south, but...
Don't open our can of worms.
No, we'll leave that open.
Yeah. You've seen them live in Red Hill. Were they any good?
What was that? A couple of weeks ago. They were shit hot, in fairness. I really enjoyed it. Shit hot, a thing in Oz? Shit hot is good, if anyone's not understanding that.
Yeah.
But no, they were brilliant. Really enjoyed that. A lot of the indie scene for me at the minute. Touch on some of the Aussie indie bands I've sort of really taken to since we've come over here. You've got
we've got a question about that later as well.
Have we? Oh, I might leave that for there then. But no, the indie
go
scene.
through if you want. You crack on.
Yeah. What am I listening to at the minute? Still a bit of everything, but you know, I there's nothing that sticks out. I love because I'm down the mines. I can only listen to playlists, so it's only what I can download on Wi-Fi because there's no signal to play anything. Right. So yeah, it's a lot of indie, and then I'll just mix 70s, 80s indie. And then a little bit of hip hop, techno, bit of D&B to finish a day.
Is it? Can you go for the gym?
But just to finish a day off, that last hour of the day when energy's dropping, get your sub-focus on, get your chasing status.
That's where I draw the line with D&B. Sub-focus, chasing status are fine, but if you go beyond that, it's just too heavy.
It's a bit noise.
It's just like one of the girls put a story up last week. They went to that touch base thing, and it just looked like fucking hell. I suppose unless you're completely off your nut, you're just like...
You're not going there sober, are you? Let's be honest.
Nah.
We went to a festival in Sydney, but what's that, 2 years ago now, or a year before? Nah, about a year and a half ago. Field Day. And Reese went off to see Rufus the Soul. Just giving Reese... I got mine, but... Just giving Reese another mic to talk into it.
Hey, you're fucking flicking it back.
Yeah, no, Reese went off to watch Rufus the Soul, so I stayed to watch Sub Focus because I really wanted to hear... What's that song I like?
Tidal Wave.
Tidal Wave. I really wanted to hear Sub Focus play Tidal
Well, no,
Wave.
it was a crossover, wasn't it? So it was like... we all watched Sub Focus, and he was fucking quality, to be fair. Sweaty as fuck. And then Rufus the Soul was just starting in like the last 10 minutes of his set, wasn't it? So we like hung back, and I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go.
So I ended up staying just to watch Tidal Wave because it was like I was there just to listen to Tidal Wave. Do you think the fucker played it? Did he fuck?
No way.
So I was stood there now. Everybody's off in nut flying. I was a good boy, obviously. That's not my scene. So I was just high on the spice of life, sweating.
Yeah, of course.
Sweating both tits off. Like must have dropped about 3k in weight. Yeah, no, but
Why didn't he play it?
I don't know, but I didn't have a chance to ask him. I was hanging back to see if I could catch him at the end and say, "Hey, dickhead, what's the score?" But
He didn't play any of them, or he didn't play Turn Back Time either, did he?
if I can turn
No,
back
not that one.
time.
How's that?
That's Space Jam,
I wish
isn't it?
I could turn back time.
Oh yeah, I know the one. I know.
That's an anthem, that is. Space Jam, yeah. What's that, Mint Sauce, is it?
Ah, underrated. I was underrated.
Never mind. What were you saying, Reese? What are you into, what?
Can't remember the question, but...
What are you into at the minute? The old John
Oh,
Mayer
right,
stuff?
yeah. Well, yeah, obviously, just all the bands I mentioned earlier, but like, in terms of newer artists, love Sam Fender. We saw him live a couple of years ago to me. He's fucking
Good
brilliant.
that I missed that.
He's good, he is.
But I just think I love how he writes stuff with meaning. I think there's so much wank out there these days. It's just he's actually like his latest album's really deep in it. If you've had a good listen to that,
Yeah.
and again, like you know, there's certain songs you listen to and it really fucking hits you in the feels. So yeah, big fan of him. You mentioned some of the Aussie bands, so I love Roy Lotus.
Brilliant.
Big fan of the Ryans. I don't know
Brian's
if you've heard of the Ryans, boys.
great. Yeah, really good.
Up and coming, a great band. Again, they write a lot of probably why me and you like them. So they write a lot of songs about the feelings and relationships. And
Yes, yeah, and it does get you through.
it does, yeah. Pulls you through on a nice long walk. Yeah, who else? I think I'm pretty open, to be honest. There's not many genres I don't like. I'm big into my rock and roll, but I don't like heavy metal. And
Yeah.
I don't like D&B.
I can get on board with that one. The heavy stuff, the screamer stuff.
Yeah,
It's just fucking noise, innit?
I won't give my opinion on it because it's a strong opinion I've got on that, but something at some point in the timeline has gone drastically wrong if you enjoy listening to people scream down a microphone.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not going to say you're wrong because it's your opinion, listen to what you want, but it's fucking shit.
You're not wrong, but something's gone wrong. That's what we've just said there.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you what I want to touch on quickly, Bernie, because you brought Fender up there, and obviously, you know, he writes about, you know, his songs make a lot of sense. They're quite powerful. The lyrics have got some meaning. We haven't actually got this on the list, and might need a bit of direction off YouTube here, because I could end up dropping a show in hot water here. Because, well, sort of the reverse of songs with meaning is songs without meaning and lyrics that are provocative and, you know, maybe can influence a younger generation when they're not expecting it.
Nicki Minaj,
We're gonna
Ariana?
go. Yeah. So me and Reese, obviously we do it. We spend a lot of time in a car, me and Reese, and literally Bluetooth on straight away, rip a knob off.
Got it,
and we're singing away.
Drown out the engine.
And I tell you what it was. Yeah, you have to be fit.
Drown out the noises it makes. It's like a Dalek talking to you.
Saying we don't like D&B, we got a fucking car who plays the best live set you've ever heard.
Oh, don't get me started when you wind the windows down as well.
Oh, Christ.
But no, me and Reese were driving, and we haven't touched on it yet. I don't know if we've got time to really spend time on it, but I'm a huge fan of Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, massive fan.
Can't say it and comment on it.
Oh, have a look. Well, don't have a look, have a listen. But to be fair, if you had a look, you wouldn't be disappointed. But no, big fan of Sabrina Carpenter. But her song, Espresso, have you heard that?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Yeah,
honestly,
but you 100% have.
if ever the spark goes, which I'm not saying it will, but in 20 years' time, if ever the spark just needs a little fucking flicker, chuck espresso on a vinyl, dim a light in, Bob's your uncle's, and you will set the mood. But no, we were just on about like the provocative nature of songs, and this is not just female artists, because a lot of the hip hop is, you know, pretty filth. It's, you know, very
some of the fucking Notorious B.I.G.
yeah, some of the
wild.
So it's not me saying, you know, female artists in particular. It's just me and him were talking in the car, and it was one song that I had a little sing to back in the day, and I didn't think nothing of it because I was quite green around the ears when I was younger. But is it Bang Bang?
No, Side to Side.
Side to Side. So the song in question was Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj, Side to Side, and the lyrics just sort of caught the eye and ear a little bit, where it's obviously, well, Ariana's talking about walking side to side, or being left walking side to side.
Ah, I see.
Put two and two together.
No.
I get where you're going now.
Now, don't get me wrong, she's entitled to want a good spin, but I mean, being left to walk side to side is poor. You know, you want to walk in a straight line afterwards, realistically, don't you? Like,
So you say like these hidden messages or these naughty
yeah,
stories?
I mean,
It gets worse, though.
it can, yeah, and bear in mind, this is targeted now at 12, 13-year-old girls as well now, who, no issue with it. Hey, look, sing about what you want. Take it how you want. But the side-to-side part was that's a bit fruity. But the one that really stood out was, what's it, Wrist Icicle?
Wrist Icicle, riding dick bicycle.
And I'm sure she's not... And, well, to be fair, I didn't know it was dick bicycle. So on the radio edit, it's Wrist Icicle riding big bicycle. And I'm thinking she's not on about riding a BMX
Maybe it
or
is
the
big,
TikTok.
maybe I've misheard, but still, you know, same meaning. Anyway.
Oh, so that's a line in the song, is it?
Yeah.
You
and
can imagine what a wrist icicle is.
she's not on about fucking taking her BMX to Spa with a tip top, is she? But there, like, she's, you know...
The wrist icicle. Well, she got sore wrists after doing
You know
something.
what colour's an icicle?
White.
Yeah, and
And
it's,
what's
it's sort of dripping off your wrist.
And who sings this? Ariana Grande?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That's what I mean. And I was there, I was like...
Gosh,
I listened to it, and I never put two and I was like, fucking hell.
And it's on the radio.
That's on the radio, that is, for
You
the
got
world to
fucking
listen
kids
to.
singing along there in the concert.
You know,
Oh,
on a
come
little
on
family
now, innit?
trip, fucking little Sarah who's 12. Daddy, I want a wrist icicle. You fucking don't.
Oh my god, come on now. Because that reminds me of you were telling me yesterday about watermelon sugar, Harry
Yeah.
Styles. I didn't know that was a bit naughty.
It's got a certain anatomy in it, female anatomy.
Nah, that's unweird.
What do you think it is, but
Watermelon sugar? Is he saying the watermelon's the watermelon?
yeah.
Alright. Watermelon fish, no, not anything, but... Oh, Christ. Oh, a bit of tartar sauce for the boys.
Scanty fries, like.
Alright, yeah.
Tartar sauce. Oh, read it in, boys.
I'm not getting on board with that.
Let's try and put it right quick again. What's your favourite Harry Styles song?
No, sack him off. Sack that off. Let's go to favourite band or person we've seen live.
Christ, how do we regain our composure after that? For me, I said it a couple of shows ago, boys, Coldplay are the best. Setting them aside,
Right, yeah.
I'll have a little fucking humble brag about all the legends I've seen, right? So I've seen, obviously, Coldplay,
Have you?
Maya, seen Oasis this year, I've seen AC/DC in New Zealand, Fleetwood Mac in New Zealand, full lineup as well before Christine passed away, God rest her soul. And they kicked Lindsay Buckingham out, didn't they? Who's
Yes.
fucking class. Fleetwood Mac. Who else have I seen? Rolling Stones in Cardiff. Eagles in Wembley.
That'd have been class.
That was unreal, but you know,
That would have been unbelievable.
I tell you what popped up on my TikTok the other day. Have you seen the Sphere in Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Oh, my days.
needs to be done. We need to go there.
Bucket list.
Is
Yeah.
he similar to the one in Abu Dhabi? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen him over there. It's like basically a massive ball.
Yeah,
Big Sphere.
all interactive screens or whatever.
Could say I like.
Yeah. Could tell.
That'd be good, aye.
But I seen the Eagles pop up on there the other week. That was fucking class.
Good list to be fair, but you've seen some good shows there.
Yeah, a few of them, a bucket list, but I've seen Elton John as well. But like, you know, like especially with these older artists, you do kind of think, fuck, you know, this could be the last chance to see them. They're all getting on a bit now. But the Stones were fucking amazing. AC/DC was amazing. I've seen Queen as well in London.
you?
Obviously Freddie were in there, like, but they were with Adam Lambert. and he's fucking sensational.
He had a break from Maroon 5, did he?
That's Adam Levine.
Right to her.
He will be loved.
Right to her.
Good list, but I don't think I can top that one, to be fair. I mean,
Have a crack.
I think Eminem. Seen Eminem live?
You seen him?
Eminem.
Yeah,
Me and
that
him
was
didn't
brilliant.
realise we were at the same show.
Back in Reading.
Reading Festival, yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, that when they're just for them. And then Teskey Brothers recently, Australian band. Their voices
they're
are
class.
I got to
unbelievable.
listen to them. Who said about them? I haven't
Yeah.
listened to much of them yet.
Live, they sound exactly like they do on Spotify. Absolute quality, as well as Tyler Childers in Perth. But the most entertaining was actually Kaiser Chiefs.
Oh, really?
I seen him in Cardiff, and he started like climbing on the stage and getting proper into it.
Yeah,
And for
brilliant.
entertainment
Yeah,
value and
yeah,
engagement, he was quality.
Coldplay will take some beating for me, but I tell you, we went to Benny Cassim in Spain, and who will always stick out for me was the Killers.
Oh, I'd love to see them, yeah.
They were brilliant. I really enjoyed the Killers. Obviously, we'll see Oasis now later on in the year. But no,
See Madness as well?
yeah, I seen that Spain trip. It was a mental lineup. Liam Gallagher was there. Seen Madness, Pet Shop Boys, the Killers. But no, musically, I'm pretty happy with what I've done. Seen Eminem. Obviously, I'd always like to see more. Got into a few Aussie bands since we've been over here. Seen a couple of shows, and I think we touched upon the Coldplay show to death. But that was
It's the best.
that's still to me a top 5 day. That was just an unbelievable experience. So I would like to see Coldplay again. And then just if I doubt it because time's running out for for John Boy, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bon Jovi before they hang their boots up because Bon Jovi's right up there for me.
Yeah, there's some brilliant people still going up round, which I'd love to see. One we could do at the end of the year, Gregory Porter is coming to Perth.
Who's that?
He got a lovely voice, to be fair to him. You'll recognise him.
He wears that thing on his head.
I don't know what they're called. You'd recognise him. He's got a class voice.
Or he's got a Dion, like.
I'll have to have a look at Greg.
You'll know what I mean. You'll know what I mean. And then I suppose in terms of best person we've seen, and we've done that. So what about best decade? Any decade stick out? Because we've had a few questions around on most of our posts. We always use a song from the 80s.
It's the 80s, isn't it? 80s are the best decade.
And 70s.
Is there 70s as well?
Yeah, well, no argument with the 70s. 70s are brilliant, like the sort of disco stuff in the 70s. But for me, the 80s are just it's undefeated.
Yeah,
everything is. A lot of the 80s, it is catchy, and I know Reece thinks a lot of the stuff, some of the Pet Shop Boys and Duran Duran sort of vibes are a bit fruity, but to me it's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's what we sort of grew up on through our parents, but it's also a lot of in the films which I liked.
Yeah,
some of the classic movies.
Top Gun,
Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller and all that stuff.
Eye of the Tiger.
The Schwarzenegger movies. So I can get on board with the 80s, but you disagree, Reece, don't you?
No, I like the 80s. I like a lot of 80s stuff. But I think the 70s tops it. Like you said, you mentioned disco. I fucking love it. I think there's nothing better. You know, like you're talking earlier about dancing, and I don't understand how people can dance to like D&B. But like for me, if you're out and about and you hear a bit of Earth, Wind and Fire or Kool and the Gang, it's just nothing better. Like, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then obviously all the rock and roll stuff then. So yeah, I know the Beatles were the 60s, but yeah, you got Stones, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, all kind of on the rise in the 70s, and that's a bit of me, that is.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say each decade has got some absolute great songs, great bands, haven't they? But on the whole, it's a tough one.
Should we quickly touch on any guilty pleasures, which again is a bit subjective, but no, guilty pleasures, which it's not guilty. I'll openly tell the world.
So what do you mean by that? Then something you like but you shouldn't like?
Yeah, something that I think if you were to tell the boys, right, I like this sort of music, they'd think. I can't say that.
I can hear you thinking what you're saying.
They'd say, "Oh, that surprises me that you listen to that sort of music." For me, like I'm quite religiously blasting Bananarama. I think We're Alone Now, Tiffany. Bit of Kim Wilde. You keep me hanging on. Madonna, Kylie, come on, baby, do the locomotion. That's like all the women of the 80s. Like that's my. I will blast my heart out to the women of the 80s. Like they don't make them like they used to.
It's a good question, to be fair. I think we touched on it earlier, but Adele. I think when you're in a certain mood,
she makes you feel.
and you're staring out the window. You know, we've all done it when we're little, when we're 12-year-old kids staring out the window thinking we're in a music video. Adele has the power to do that now.
I got a funny story with it as well. I was sat in the car before school one morning singing to Avril Lavigne, I'm With You, and I was like kind of looking at myself in the wing mirror doing that, and I didn't realise my sister was fucking stood there watching. And she was pissing herself. She always reminds me of that. You know, one of them where you get caught dancing or singing along and you think no one's watching you.
Yeah, you can't hear or think of anything but the lyrics, and you're just in the zone.
And it's just the most embarrassing thing on earth. So yeah, Louise, I'm sure you'll enjoy that.
Do you know, I used to sing so much as a kid. I used to get shouted at for singing.
It does sound like you're singing a different song, I'll be honest. Yeah. No offence.
No, I mean, that's actually very fucking offensive, but... Alright, fuck you. I like, my mother would sit in a car for about 10 minutes putting up with it. And just literally out of nowhere, bit of Neil Diamond. It wouldn't even be like a fucking fast song. It'd be like, hello again, hello. She'd be like, shut the fuck up, will you? I'd be like, alright, you play that nicely.
You'd cry and then she'd have a go at you for crying, wouldn't she?
Oh, don't get me started, but I had a fucking awful childhood. No, I love you, mum, you know that.
My guilty pleasures would probably be boy bands. So like, you know, anything from Five, Backstreet Boys, who else? Even like Westlife had some bangers. Boyzone.
Oh, only quick, do you know what came on the shuffle yesterday? The Rose, Westlife.
Oh, Tim.
Oh.
I tell you what's another one. What is it? Fucking My Love. So I say a little prayer. Hope my dreams will take... Oh, banger. Take That. Fucking...
Oh, I've seen those live.
Take That.
Take That. Very good live. When he come to the Millennium Prince
They
Party.
were in Perth long ago.
I know, they're not... But
how many of them were there, though?
Well,
they were all there when you've seen them, and I didn't go to that concert.
Robbie was
I
there.
don't know about Robbie.
I remember there was one tour they did where Robbie joined them.
Yeah.
He'd done like his own segment and sang with them, and I had tickets for that, and I didn't go.
Yeah.
I just thought they weren't cool. Like,
oh no, they definitely weren't
mistake.
cool. Like, I went with my mother and everyone, but the entertainment value, I remember they had this massive elephant made out of people, and the tail was a woman just swinging her hair back and forth. It was class. It was a circus tour. Circus. She did have.
You're just doing hit like
Willow Smith. She's got some bangers as well, just on a tangent.
She has actually got some good songs, to be fair.
So, but like Robbie's a fucking legend, isn't he?
Robbie's brilliant.
His catalogue, unbelievable.
Don't know about his film Mind. We need to go watch that. But
I haven't watched it.
Well, Sam Cathy listened to it, so obviously we can't take his opinion. But he reckons it was shit. But obviously it's got a good rating on IMDb, so that's enough for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Sam's rate. No offense, Sam, but you're not a fucking film critic, mate. Not one that I would listen to anyway.
Not against
but yeah, boy bands. And,
yeah, fair.
We'll touch upon our karaoke songs after, because I think about 5 people have asked us in the questions, but yeah, it'd be one of them, I reckon. Even 1D, boys.
1D, but you can't.
Massive fan of 1D.
You're
back in the
heads
day.
up your arse if you don't reckon 1D's any good.
Don't know.
They got some fucking belters.
Oh, they have.
You got a few bits of trivia here, Jim. So, what, are we doing a bit of trivia each?
Well, I thought about making this pod a bit of educational now and then, bit informative for the listener. So I suppose if we could all bring a bit of trivia, a bit of music-related trivia. So I don't mind starting us off. So mine, I've got it written down, so I don't want to butcher it. But Rolling Stones, "Gimme Shelter," absolute great song. And the female singer in that song, Mary Clayton, whilst they were recording, she was heavily pregnant. And there was a lot of late night recording sessions, and you can actually hear her during the song. She sings such a high note, her voice breaks, and they actually keep that in the song because it's just so powerful and so good. But then, following the song being complete, she sadly had a miscarriage.
Never.
And since then, she hasn't been able to listen to the song because it sort of leaves that bad taste, as understandably as it is. And she puts that down to the pressures of the recording and how hard she had to sing for that song. She sort of blames that for the miscarriage. So it's a great song with a bit of a dark, sad story.
That's harrowing.
Yeah. Hopefully you boys go on.
Where do we go from here? Like?
Well, I tell you what, but I'll leave you go last because mine's similar. But not. Basically, I only found this out the other day. One of the boys in work, shout out to great friend of the show, Jack Burge. I was absolutely breaking my vocal cords to Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls, because that's a very powerful love song.
Yeah.
And Burge kindly told me the backstory of the song, which I didn't know about, and it did bring a tear to my eye. It's based off a film starring Nicolas Cage, where basically he's an angel, and he falls in love with a human woman. But the trade-off is, to get with her, he's got to trade his
Immortality.
He's got to trade his immortality to get with a woman. So obviously the film follows a story. You know, he's building a connection with this woman, and he does trade his immortality to be with this woman.
Good guy.
And then sod's law, she dies the next day.
What? Of what?
Oh, I can tell you, I haven't seen the film, but yeah, he fucking gets his connection with a woman. Trades his immortality for the love of his life.
Bloody hell.
That's he had a maid, didn't he?
He's had a Lionel Blair, but there, right?
Tony Blair. I don't like films that end on a sad note.
That's why I'll never watch Marley and Me, because I know what happens. I'll never ever watch Marley and Me.
Yeah, it's a tearjerker.
But go on, Reece, fucking hell, pick a mood up for the boys.
Well, mine's on the subject of hell. So
Christ, boys.
But no, so AC/DC, don't know if the listeners are aware of this, probably the Aussie ones will be, but they're actually an Aussie band. The lead singer now is from Newcastle, like and Brian Johnson, both. The original singer was Bon Scott. I think he died in 79.
79?
Yeah, but he was from Perth, and his grave is around the corner from where we used to live in Pally. But I never actually went there, which is wild because I'm a big AC/DC fan.
It's still here. We can go see if you want.
Yeah, he's not going to go anywhere, to be fair, is he? I've seen the statue in Frio of Bon Scott.
Okay.
But yeah, so the song Highway to Hell is about Canning Highway, apparently, which is about 50 metres up the road.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there, because we live off that street, in case anyone's wondering. And I didn't know that.
May as well tell them exactly where we live again.
They already know, don't they? And you leave the door open every time.
I was in 9 keys I've scattered around Perth.
Yeah. Spreading the love.
Like a little treasure hunt. But no, it is... I can see why it's called Highway to Hell when you're trying to get the train in on a Tuesday night.
You can't get out.
Jesus Christ. They don't know you out the junction here, do they?
Oh, there you go.
No,
but I always thought growing up it was a cooler road in America, and
I'd assumed America.
Yeah, you'd assume it nicer, more mountains, but no, Cannon Highway, pretty average, annoying road. But Perth's got some good musicians. I know Tame Impala is from Perth.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's pretty decent as well.
They're a band, isn't he? He's just the lead singer. Is it Kevin Parker?
Oh,
didn't know that. Take that back.
Apologies. I honestly thought his name was Tame.
No, I think Tame Impala, like an Impala, is like a fucking not a camel, like a
deer.
What are those ones that spit to you?
Not cock.
Liverpool fans.
Not Kamala. What's a Kamala? Alpaca.
Kamala Harris. Yeah, alpaca. So an Impala. No, an Impala is probably more like a deer, I think. So for some reason, I think a Tame Impala is like a tame deer.
I chilled that one.
Every day.
I might be getting the wrong end of the stick. I know Impala's a car as well in America, but who cares? This is a fucking shite tangent. No one cares. Let's wrap up and get into the Instagram questions then, boys.
What's happening there then? What's that you got there then?
What's that you got there?
What's that in a river?
Isn't it mental?
It is mental.
It is mental though, isn't
It's
it?
fact, eh? It's fact.
That is fact, man.
Come on.
It's mental though, isn't it?
It's fact, eh?
Do you click on the store?
Yeah, not out. Fucking hell, we got loads of questions. We're not going to be able to ask all these, unfortunately.
The best ones. You got work in 3 minutes, haven't you?
Yeah. Sorry, Joe. I'm going to be late. Kicking off with a shout out then from Georgia Richard, I think your name is. So random, but can you shout out my dad Julian? He's from Caerleon in Wales. He'll love it. Love in capital letters.
Yes,
Lol.
Julian. Appreciate that.
Up a Jill.
Thank you.
Yeah, big shout out to you, Joel. Thanks for listening, bud. Glad you're a big fan. Yeah, we've had a lot of people ask about our karaoke songs then, so including your mother, Sauce, Adam Court, Lydia Means. That's about it, I think. So let's rock and roll then. Go to karaoke.
Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire.
Have you ever seen him do this?
No, I do want to. I've heard about it. He's quite
fucking
famous.
incredible.
It's a party trick, and luckily I'm saved by the bell because I know that fucker's got to go to work.
No, you can sing us out with that. Not right now. You can sing us out at the end of the episode.
But no, it comes out after a few drinks. Do you know, I didn't tell you, I had Courtney ring me. I was in work, it must have been about 10:30. He was with it was Courtney, Ollie, and a couple of others. And he FaceTimed me, he goes, "Oh, alright, bud? Yeah, you alright?" I said, "Aye, what's happening, Court?" He said, "Oh, you're on swing, are you?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Have you got 2 minutes?" "Depends what for." He said, he just fucking blasted "We Didn't Start the Fire" and he wanted to FaceTime me. I was here hard out on glasses, fucking giving it Harry Doris Day.
The thing is, the lyrics are so intricate and like the way he does it is unbelievable. I've actually seen Sausage sing "We Didn't Start the Fire" into a sausage at a barbecue. That was one of the best things I've ever seen. We'll find the footage of that. I'm sure I've got
Yes,
it.
please.
No, please don't.
What's yours, Jim?
I remember the very first time I had to do it. On a side note, I absolutely hate karaoke, and I'm not that kind of guy. Was the first one I chose very poorly. I chose Bonkers, Dizzy Rascal, and I can do it, but in front of a crowd when you're on your own, it went down awfully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I-
but now it's Follow Me, Uncle Cracker.
Can I just criticise that for a terrible karaoke song choice?
So
I know that.
if you've gone Dance With Me, that's alright.
Dance with me, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, darling?
What's
And,
up,
is it
darling?
Holiday?
Holiday will do.
But I chose wrong. I was young. I was immature. We've all learned. We've all made mistakes.
You chose a karaoke song with about 10 words.
Yeah, and ones that nobody knows. No one can join
So you
in.
may
That's
well
the
have had-
trick, I think, to karaoke. Sing a song that everyone else
It's
can
like
join
saying,
in.
what's your karaoke song? Eric Prydz Piano.
Well, mine would be, I mentioned boy bands earlier, mine would have to be "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys.
Tune.
Yeah,
Fucking
safe one.
anthem, that is. Matthew Trout, name a song that is your favourite but not your favourite, so I'm guessing that's like a bit of a guilty pleasure. So if we're going guilty pleasures again, let's go One Direction, and I'll say One Direction's best song is "Where Do Broken Hearts Go."
I haven't heard it.
That's
No,
that's
same,
some
same.
deep knowledge that is, but I remember doing it on X Factor and it was fucking awesome. Great tune.
So, picking my favourite guilty pleasure song, it would be Teardrops, Womack and Womack.
I don't know if that's a guilty
Don't know if I
pleasure
know
or
about.
that's a fucking anthem.
It is an anthem, but it'd be like, it's not in the top 10, but it's like a favourite song. Like, that's not a favourite song, if you get me.
Yeah, okay. Unofficial.
An official favourite song, yeah.
I suppose it's got to be Hometown Adele, the way she sings
From
that.
my hometown.
And when you play that really loud, you can feel it like in your heart.
Sorry, should we see if they can talk a bit louder downstairs as well?
Sorry, can we just have a bit of
Can you
inside
talk-
voices there, please?
Can you talk a bit louder down there, please? Never mind then.
Come join us, Ben.
Ben, do you want a mic, bud? Go on, who's it? What else we got? Have you answered that?
Yeah, go on, but yeah.
Hometown.
Who's next then? Never mind. Fucking crack on, son. Joe Davis gets asked to sing Billy Joel, "We Didn't Start the Fire." Yep, that's going to happen.
Looking
Joe,
forward to
don't worry
that.
about it.
Can have a couple of verses if you're lucky.
So we've had a few about pre-game songs. So the first one is, what's your pre-game playlist? So let's just go with like a hype song then. So if you need a song to kind of,
Firestarter, The Prodigy.
yeah. Is that getting you through a tough gym session as well, is it?
Yeah, and yeah, to be fair, I'm gonna walk out on a football pitch for 8 minutes at the end of a game. When we're 5-0 up and the coach is feeling sorry for me, fucking let's have a bit of Firestarter. I am a twisted Firestarter.
I can see that. I can see why that does that to you. I think growing up for me, I think as well for a lot of people was Eminem. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got Adele still in my head.
lose yourself.
Yeah,
Lose
lose
yourself.
yourself. And you can just picture the scene in 8 Mile. You can picture yourself in a hoodie with a hood up, just getting in
One
the zone.
shot, one opportunity.
Opportunity.
Yeah, one chance to catch that ball, one
And
chance to drop it.
If you're me, you'd probably drop the fucker. I got a few that I would go to, but I think the best intro to any song would have to be "Money for Nothing," Dire Straits.
Yes.
Oh yes,
And when when that fucking riff kicks in.
yeah.
We have to touch back on music, so I feel there's a lot of fucking unbelievable things we missed out.
Like the Who, they've got some great intros to song.
Who? Hey, he didn't see
That's
that
another band I grew up with. The Who.
The
My
Who,
dad's a massive
yeah.
fan. Yeah.
But I feel like their intros are a 10 out of 10, but then they go downhill a bit. Quite controversial maybe, but they've got some great songs.
Won't Get Fooled Again anthem. Question from Rihanna Cook then. What's your favourite Harry Styles song?
Oh, we've touched on mine, but now that I know it's a bit offside, there was
I know
watermelon
it's
sugar.
about fannies, you know. I'm a big fan. Like,
Watermelon fish. I might just leave that there, like, because you've just got that in my head and you've ruined our song for me forever.
I don't know. Do I put a disclaimer in for that one, like saying, I'm fully aware they don't all smell of fish, like, is
Oh, son.
I don't know.
You're digging a hole by but just
yeah, I'd leave it as it is.
Mine would probably be well. Mine would probably be watermelon sugar's class, but I think it'd be As It Was.
As it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Adore You for me. I would walk through fire for you.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, we're on the subject. Anything sorted when you go home in a few weeks, or?
There is some. Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with all the boys and might have a little trip to the seaside. That's about it.
Brighton away.
Brighton away. Brighton and Hove Albion.
Right. Chantal Smith, drum and bass on top.
What's she mean by that?
Shite. She's just saying
bass,
like drum and bass is the best.
out the gutter.
Whoa, yeah, he's off again.
Jesus.
Honestly, put a fucking lead on him.
Oh, you into that, do?
No comment. Ellen, big fan of the pod. Ellen Hayes has said literally anything by the main man Sam Fender. He could sneeze and I'd call it a symphony.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
Great compliment.
Worst song you've ever heard put on in the change room before or after a game by Lewis James. You got a story about my cousin, haven't you, Jim?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we playing rugby, Lewis was on the music. And as you said, his old man's a great musician, so Lewis has got the music bug. He's very talented, so don't mind him being on a speaker. But as he left the room to get strapped or to have a rub down, the music's changed slightly, and it changed to why's my mind gone blank? Help me out.
Marvin Gaye, Sexual
No.
Healing.
The you know that ginger boy's driving in the car and he's got a window down, he's singing.
Staring at the blank page
That's
before you. Natasha Bedingfield.
That's it. And that starts blasting in the change room.
Say Ginger Boy, she's a girl.
There's a ginger boy, wasn't it?
No, the viral video.
The video, not the song.
He's driving off, innit?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it's
that
a great video. So he comes sprinting around the corner. We're all just staring at him, slightly laughing, trying to get serious. But then the music just changed the vibe.
Unreal.
So, yeah.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's certain boys, that somehow they'd end up as team DJ and it'd just be the same playlist every week.
Yeah.
Just like, oh fucking hell, like just give us a bit of fucking variety. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, clock's ticking. We'll do one more then. So we've had a few messages of Chloe Bartlett. So she said, started watching the pod and done 10 episodes in 2 days. So
Fucking
Fair
hell.
play.
love her. Fucking
I couldn't
love
even
her.
do that.
No,
No.
me. We're boring as fuck. So good on you, Chloe. You must have been very bored.
Thank you.
If you could have dinner with one music artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, I couldn't. Probably need 5 to ask us. Ooh.
I think you'd have to go Liam Gallagher, boys. Just pure entertainment value. I just think he's fucking gold.
Yeah. It's not a bad shout, to be fair.
There's a couple of legends out there, like Elvis,
Oh, you
John
fucker.
Lennon. Sorry, bud.
Sorry, but that was going to be mine.
Fuck it, Frankie Valli.
And the Four Seasons, like.
No, it's just one dinner guest, so the 4 Seasons don't get the invite. But fucking just Frankie. And I was gonna say, and we'd have what a night.
Yeah, 100%.
You'd have to
do
do-
Elvis, would you, Jim?
I'll change my answer. James Brown.
James Brown, the King of Soul.
Yeah, I reckon he's
I
been to
feel
some cool
good.
places. I can imagine he's played in some
Died on Christmas Day.
Western diners, and did he actually? Didn't I? He's seen some very cool sights. Been
He had one of your
good
Nan's
story.
Yorkshires, did he? Or?
Good question.
Yeah, sorry, I cut you off here. Last one, then, Ian Davis. Can you give a shout out to George Glue? So I was in school with George. I would have been the nosebleed kid in our year, but George took it to a new level. So we actually went on a school trip one year, and his nose was bleeding so heavily, he started coming out of his eye.
Fuck
Never
me.
seen anything like it. It was like a fucking
James
horror
Bond
film.
villain.
Yeah, so every time I had a nosebleed beyond that, I was convinced my eye was going to start bleeding. So yeah, thanks for that, George. A lot of sleepless nights because of you. No, he's a great artist. I think he's producing now, but he's actually written a lot of songs of his own, so check him out on Spotify or Apple Music if you're a legend like me.
Nice, George.
But that's about us, boys. Sauce, I'll leave you in your more than capable hands. You can sing us off.
Oh, you can have a couple of verses.
A couple of verses.
Right, go on then. So
we can't have the music because it'll be copyright, so you just have to go a cappella.
Do you want in your head to remind you a little bit, or you're good?
No,
you're
I'm
good to go?
alright. So Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, South Pacific, Walter Winchell, Joe DiMaggio, Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Studebaker Television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. Joseph Stalin, Malenkov, Vanessa Prokofiev, Rockefeller, Campanella, Communist Bloc, Roy Cohn, Hamperon, Toscanini, Dag. I think I fucked that up as well, to be fair.
Carry on, no one knows.
Rock around the clock. Einstein, James Dean, Brooklyn's got a winning team. Davy Crockett, Peter Pan, Elvis Presley, Disneyland, Bardo, Budapest, Alabama, Cruise Chest, Princess Case, Peyton Place, Trouble in the Sewers.
We didn't start the fire.
Have a good one.
It was always burning since the world was turning. I'll do us.
Oh, fucking right, I'll do it.
That was very good.
Terrific,
Well done.
Josh.
Well done.
Big
Bravo.
hand. Big hand.
Here.
Get 5 pints down him. Get a sausage in his hand, and you want to watch him go. It's fucking incredible.
Oh, I do my best work with a sausage in hand.
On that bombshell. Oil vow.
Oil vow.